You guys, I was recently approved for a $9,000 credit limit with a 0% promotional APR through Wells Fargo. And in this video, I wanted to show you how I got approved and why I wanted to access this capital, and most importantly, how I plan on using it to increase my ownership and assets. Now, first things first, when it comes to applying for credit, I'm not personally the type of person that likes to apply for things online. If I'm gonna borrow money, I wanna understand exactly what I'm getting myself into. So physically, I walked into Wells Fargo and I sat down with the banker. I wanted to understand the promotional period, the fees, and how the credit worked, and what I was actually agreeing to. And after going through this process, I was approved for a $9,000 credit limit with a 0% promotional APR for 21 months. But here's where my mindset might be a little different. Just because they're giving me 21 months doesn't mean I want to plan on taking 21 months to pay this money back. See, that 21 months is my safety window. My goal is to pay this debt down aggressively. So what I'm actually going to do with this money is I'm planning on putting roughly 90% of this capital directly into growth ETFs. I'm not using this money to upgrade my lifestyle or to buy new clothes or even take a vacation. I'm using it to increase my asset base. And there's something interesting that's actually happening here. When the money enters into my Charles Schwab broker's account, it's capital inside my broker. I'm not borrowing that money from Schwab. See, the debt exists outside the broker with a different lender. So yes, I'm still using debt. It's simply a different form of debt. And that's the important distinction. Most people would use debt through their own broker and it'd be classified as margin debt. But in this case, it's different because I'm not pretending that the $9,000 suddenly appeared out of nowhere, or that the borrowing $9,000 magically increased my net worth. I still owe the $9,000. The objective is to acquire the assets now and then aggressively use my future income to eliminate the debt while attaining those assets. So how am I going to pay it back? The same way I approach margin debt, aggressively. Every time I receive a paycheck from my job, I look at what needs to be paid, whether it be rent, bills, or any other living expenses. Everything I actually need. And then when I look at the spread between what I earned and what I spent, the positive spread is extremely important to me. See, because the majority of the money that's left can now be redirected towards paying down my margin debt. And that's why I constantly talk about discipline when it comes to using leverage. The fact that something is 0% promotional APR doesn't mean the debt doesn't matter. I borrowed it, I owe it, and now I need a plan to pay it back. My goal is to have this paid off in a much shorter time period than 21 months. And this is where my philosophy around debt may be a little bit different from most other people. A lot of people might aggressively pay down debt because they want to completely own their car sooner and eliminate any other sort of liabilities. But my focus is different. When I take on strategic debt, my objective is to acquire productive assets and then aggressively eliminate the debt. See, that's the cycle I'm trying to create. Acquire the assets, build on the ownership. Use my earned income to attack debt, retain the asset, and repeat that process only when my finances allow me to in a responsible manner. See, growth isn't the only part of the strategy here. I'm also continuing to build on my income portfolio. That could include covered call ETFs, BDCs, or any other form of income seeking assets. I look at that portfolio slightly differently. See, the growth portfolio is building my long-term base. The income portfolio is designed to create cash flow that can absorb something that is unexpected, what I call financial friction. So say you have a random car bill or some random car breakdown, any unexpected life events that you were not expected to happen. So I'm still building on both. But this $9,000, I'm going to put it to work. And before I use leverage like this, I'm going to ask myself the same questions. Do I have the reliable income coming in? What are my monthly obligations? After those obligations are paid, do I have a healthy positive spread? And can I aggressively pay this debt back without putting myself in a financial bind? Because a 0% APR doesn't eliminate risk, and leverage doesn't replace discipline. And for me, the entire strategy depends on having income to eliminate the debt after I used and acquire those assets. So ultimately, I'm trying to use leverage to accelerate my ownership and increase my asset base. But as a disclaimer, you guys, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you guys found any value in this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.